Okay, hello. Today we'll be looking at things to do in a conversation. Now, most of the time, I'll have to mark the students' English conversation. So I'll give them a situation and I'll ask them, okay, you are given this amount, 2 or 3 minutes to prepare for this situation. So the students will look through the situation and prepare. And then they will be told, you have to do your English conversation with your group members. The conversation has to be 10 to 20 minutes. It depends on which course the students are taking. Are they degree or are they diploma or degree students? So here's what I usually tell my students. When you start a conversation, of course, the first thing is you have to introduce yourself. For example, hello, my name is Aditya. You can call me Adit. It's very nice to see you. Introduce yourself. You have to give some kind of information about yourself. Number 1 is introduce yourself. Number 2 is small talk. Small talk means empty, baseless conversation. This conversation helps to develop relationship between the speaker A and speaker B. It helps to reduce the tension, reduce the awkwardness. It allows for better relationship. For example, the students can say, "Oh, hi, Adit. I have not seen you in a long time. How are your parents? How is uncle and auntie? I have not seen them." Oh, perhaps you can talk. You can start the conversation by, "Did you watch the England and Scotland game last night?" "Yeah, it was very disappointing. The England squad, there are a lot of good players in the England squad, but then they failed to score." Small talk, baseless conversation. This conversation helps you to to reduce the anxiety and the stress of having to speak to someone. It helps when you're in the outside world, small talk helps to build a relationship, a trust relationship between a speaker and the listener and vice versa. So number 2 is small talk. Number 3 is idioms. So you use idioms because you want to express yourself in a simple manner. Let's say like it's raining heavily in my location. So instead of saying it is raining very heavy, I can say it is raining cats and dogs here in Shah Alam. Or perhaps you are talking to someone and he's going on and on and on. You say, "Okay, please stop beating around the bush and tell me straight." Idioms, it helps you to express yourself. I tell my students they need to use idioms because it shows that you are proficient and comfortable. You are proficient in English and you're comfortable expressing yourself. So number 3 is idioms. Number 4 is turn taking. Turn taking means letting the other people, giving chance to the other people to express themselves. You cannot be dominating the whole conversation. You must let person B or person C to express themselves. So turn taking, allowing the other person to express themselves. Number 5 is convergence. Convergence means you adapt your communication style so that the other person will be able to understand you better. For example, I'm speaking to my Malaysian students. So when I speak to them, I have to speak a bit slow, as fast as this. I have to speak slow. I have to pronounce my word I have to carefully pronounce my work. I cannot be talking very fast to my students like this because they might not understand what I'm saying. So I use convergence. I slow down my speech. I speak a bit louder. I pronounce my words clearly, or I use easier words. Sometimes when I explain something to my students, by looking at them, I know they don't understand. So what I'll do is we explain the same thing but in an easier way. For example, if we are talking about, when nothing comes to my mind, but you get the point. When you're speaking to someone and that somebody doesn't understand what you're trying to say, so you change the manner of speaking, you change how you express yourself. That's convergence. Convergence is defined as communication changes that you make in order for the other person to understand you better. Okay, for example, I'm talking about collaborative learning. Collaborative learning. Students, we should use more collaborative learning when we are teaching the students, and we should use collaborative learning when we work with our classmates, because they might have better understanding. And if I said a collaboration, my students might ask me, sir, what is collaboration? So collaboration is the fancy word for working together. So in order for us to learn better, we should work together. We should share opinions, our thoughts, our notes with each other. That's another word for that. Is a fancy word, fancy explanation for collaboration. So I changed the meaning. I introduced the topic in another simpler way. So number 6, natural conversation. When you talk to someone, be as natural as possible. Some of the students will, when they know like I'm judging them, when I'm marking them, they might sound so serious. Hello, my name is blah blah blah. I'm happy to see you. I disagree with what candidate A is saying, because be natural. I disagree with candidate B. Why? I believe that. Be as natural as possible. Number 7, do not go out of topic. I will give my students a situation. For example, the situation is you and your team members notice that the other co-workers are taking a long time to get back from lunch. Instead of coming back after 1 hour, most of the co-workers come back after 1.5 hours. So your topic has to be based on lunch, people taking lunch, people taking a longer time for lunch. Instead of 1 hour, they take 1.5 hours. So the situation suggests ways to improve this situation where people spend 1 hour for their lunch instead of 1.5 hours. So your topic has to be ways to improve lunch hour. So you talk about lunch hour, you do not talk about something else. Do not go out of topic. Many of my students go out of topic. They are supposed to be talking about about the situation. The situation is people taking a long time to come back from lunch. Instead of 1 hour, they take 1.5 hours just to have their lunch and to come back. So topic is suggest ways to improve this situation. Some of them will be talking about something else. Do not go out of topic. That's very important. And number 8, after you're almost done, you are supposed to conclude. Conclude means conclude what has been discussed. Okay, from our discussion, we know the reasons why people take a long time to come back from lunch. We suggest that we should open up a canteen in the lower floor of our company, or we should allow our co-workers to eat in the break room located at the far end of the office. So conclude whatever you have discussed. So these are 8 things that you have to follow when you are asked to conduct an English conversation among your classmates. So number 1, introduce yourself. Number 2, small talk. Number 3, idioms. Number 4, turn taking. Number 5, convergence. I forgot one point. Okay, for example, your friend is having difficulty trying to express something. For example, the word he wants to say is Kuala Lumpur, and in the midst of the conversation, he forgets what is the capital of Malaysia. So he'll be like, we have to go to the, that he wants to say Kuala Lumpur. So, you mean Kuala Lumpur? B, do you mean Kuala Lumpur? Yes, convergence. Convergence also means you help out the other person. Another example is, he is giving an explanation and you can see he does not know what to say. So you can say, you mean B, we should allow people to eat in the cafeteria located at the corner of the office. Yes. So you should help your friends in their English conversation presentation. Number 6, natural conversation. Be as natural as possible. Number 7, do not go out of topic. In number 8, you conclude what has been discussed. So these are 8 things that you have to follow if you have to do English conversation, and knowing that your English conversation will be marked. Okay, so that's it for me. I'll see you in the next video.